morning, y'all. I just thought that I would take you guys on the last tour of May of 2021. And there's Evan coming down. I thought that I would start over in this area today instead of over by my tomatoes. So I'm going to turn you around and show you guys what is going on in the garden. First things first, Evan is over there raiding the strawberries. So our strawberries have really gotten big since we put them in the ground, because they were bare roots. So and they've produced a couple strawberries here and there. So Evan just comes out and grabs them and snacks on them. Nobody else really gets them. Just him. See? That's what he got this morning. There's just two. So here are my onions, and this will be the first year that I have really gotten much in the way of bulbs for my onions. So I'm doing something right this year. Onions have been a real experiment for me. So I've been really trying hard to actually learn to grow onions. And so this year I'm so excited that I actually have bulbs. So we just gotta wait until the neck starts to give out, and once the neck is too heavy, and then they're done growing. All right, we have our 2 bags of top crop green beans, and I'm able to sow them and harvest from them this heavily because I can walk around the whole bed, and I can reach into the middle. So that's why I do the beds like this. I really do like these 200-gallon grow bags for raised beds. They're awesome. All right, then over there I've got, those are the Royal Burgundy beans, and they're looking great as well. My last video I told you guys that once the heat hits, then these would start to die back, and if you can see, it's starting to really show where it's really starting to show that it's getting too hot for these. I do still have ones to harvest though, but I don't see any more blossoms. That is one thing, I have not seen any more blossoms. These are my purple TP beans, and they are also looking fabulous. So I'm really excited about those. It's really kind of a competition this year between the purple TP beans and the Royal Burgundy beans, because whichever ones do best, those are the ones that I'm going to go with when it comes to growing for next year. But if you see, it looks like I already have blossoms, so it won't be too long until I start seeing beans. And if you look down into the plant, there's blossoms there as well. This is my peppers area, and I still have to rearrange it. My peppers, when I first planted them, they looked really, really good, really healthy. And then I planted them, and then they got bug damage, and some, I think they struggled a little bit. Maybe I planted them a little bit too early, transplanting them out. But I have fed them and watered them, and for the most part, most of them seem to be doing well. I'll show you some of the varieties I have. So I have a Zulu pepper. These are Jimmy Nardellos. And what I've also done, I have done the little experiment where, since I have multiple of most of each of these plants, I've pinched the tops off of one of them, and the rest of them I've left alone to see if there was any difference that I could tell. So far, I really haven't seen any difference. I have a shishito there, and that one right there, and actually there's a couple shishitos there, but that one right there is a candy. It's a hybrid. It's a candy cane pepper, and it's got peppers on it. It's got several. I'm not sure what they're going to taste like, so that's new to us. We have some fish peppers here, and if you see, you can see the variegation in the leaves. The candy cane one, if you look at the leaves on that one, it's also got variegated leaves. Really. So I've also got lemon drop peppers. So look at the bottoms of these lemon drop peppers. There's a ton of foliage on the bottoms of those. So we'll see. And then the ones right beside it, these are Sugar Rush Peach. These taller ones are Sugar Rush Peach. Okay, so then these over here are Ahi Pineapple, and they're really healthy as well. These, whenever I planted them out, they didn't seem to have as much bug damage as the others, so they look healthier. Now these, I mean, I think that they were slugs, to be honest. But these are Giardone Mirasol peppers, which are a type of, they're similar to Anaheim's, but they're not exactly. Then these are my bell peppers right here. These are Murasaki purple, and those are super healthy looking as well. These are my Cubanelles, and they are starting to put out flowers. So I have these. These are transplants that I purchased. They're plant starts I purchased from our local nursery. So I've got Cayenne and Poblano, because for whatever reason those didn't germinate for me. These here are my habanero peppers. I've got a variety. There's some yellow, there's orange, and then red. So they're short and squatty, but they have been, I mean, they still look really very relatively healthy. You can tell that there was some bug damage, but like I said, I think that it was slugs. Not sure though. These are my jalapeno plants. As you see, that one you can tell is the one that I topped, and the others I have not. Alright, so then these are my sweet chocolate peppers, and there's already a little pepper growing there. I've got some little baby ones here, right? I've got a little baby one right here. And then some more. These are starting to really, really do well. They were my first ones a couple of years ago to actually produce, and they were heavy producers, which is one of the reasons that I'm growing them again. And as you see, I do have some mushrooms growing in the soil, so that's a good sign. These are my Italian pepperoncinis. And you can tell, like, some of the plants look better than others. And this one is actually, it's got a baby pepper on it and it's flowering. And the others are just now getting ready to start. So I don't know what makes one start and the others not. And as you see, I have these planted relatively close together. They're probably about 4 inches apart, which is closer than is recommended, but I have never had a problem with them growing close together. So these are my Jamaican Scotch bonnets. They're hot just like the habaneros, and so it doesn't surprise me that they are shorter. These are this is another type of Mirasol pepper. This one is Marasco, I think. I can't remember, but anyways, it is another type of Pueblo pepper, which is similar to Anaheim, as I said, and these are super, super healthy looking. You know, these these were some of the ones that looked the best whenever I put them out, as well as the ahi pineapples. So anyways, I still did get some pest pressure on them as well, but they do look healthier. But these are not as hot as the Giardone. So then these are my Tabasco peppers, and I really need to, I've got some smaller transplants that I need to get in the bag too, because 3 is just really not enough, but with all these other peppers it might be. We'll see. Then these over here are Hatch peppers. They are similar to the Pueblo peppers, but Hatch is known for, most people know Hatch. Well, Hatch and Pueblo peppers have this, they're really competitive. Pueblos are supposedly a little bit more flavorful, but we're going to find that out this year. Last year I had trouble with my plants. This year they're looking really pretty, so I think that they'll do fine. Then my banana peppers, they look rough, but they are actually doing well. And there's a banana pepper right there. Their leaves look a little, like I said, they're beaten up because of the pest pressure that I had on them. And I fed, like I said, they look better since I fed them and transplanted them. So anyways, we'll see. I think that they'll be just fine. Okay, so here is my tower of kale, which is looking beautiful, and we've harvested from it, we've eaten from it. So I'm just going to continue to, like, if for whatever reason they start to bolt or they die off or whatever, I'll just replant with more. And then this is a new one that I haven't planted out yet, but I'm going to plant flowers here. So okay, these are my plants. I haven't rearranged everything yet. So I haven't put these out where they go yet. But these are the bags that I planted, the new bags from Raxley that I planted, and they are really, like, whenever I first planted them, some of these, like the basil was a really light pale green, and you could tell that it just needed to be planted out. But you can tell that they have established their roots and stuff like that. They're really happy, healthy. The rosemary as well. The chamomile has really perked up. And then those are my flowers that I planted, my salvia. That's a blue salvia. And that one is Cleopatra mix salvia, a marigold. I have not ever been able to get snapdragons to grow from seed until this year. I'm super excited about that. And then that one is another salvia right here. That one is also a snapdragon, but it hasn't started blooming yet. So all right, and then over in this one was the marigold, basil, and a determinate tomato. And as you can see, I mean, I'll link it, but there was the tomato plant looked really puny, but now you see it's really, the plant has the color green has deepened, and it started to put more leaves out and stuff, so it's really looking good. Okay, and now I'm going to take you over here to where the tomatoes are and show you guys. I mean, there's so much growth since the last time I showed you guys. I'm really excited about my corn and my tomatoes. I've got cucumbers. You'll just see. Okay, if you remember the last time that I showed you guys, I had talked about transplanting some corn. Well, that didn't really work out too good. Some of them took and some of them didn't, but anyways, it just was not a very good experiment. But that is my stand of corn. So I'm really excited. It actually, there's actually more in there than should be. I did not thin it out well, but we're just gonna see what happens. So these don't look, it doesn't look like much right now, but these right here are asters. That one's getting ready to bloom. These are a dianthus, and then I have, there's cosmos right here, and then this big tall sunflower. So my son planted, there's another box on the other side just like this one, but anyways, Nick planted that one. So here is my tomatoes, and as you can see, they have gotten a lot bigger than the last time. There's lots of flowering. Okay, so these two rows, this row and this row, are Amish paste all the way down until the very last plant. The very last plant is a determinate type tomato. But as you see, they're flowering. They're doing really well. I need to tie these up again, especially on this row. The other rows are a little bit off. And my marigolds have gotten huge in here. They do become bushy, but I'm really excited because I love growing the marigolds in the same bag with the tomatoes. They do really well, and they help with the pests. So, yeah, all these are Amish paste, and I'll show you what I'm really excited about. So if you look down in here, look, tomato, yay! And this Amish paste already has 3 that are growing nicely. On this third row, we have a variety of tomatoes. Like I said, the first 2 rows that I showed you were just Amish paste, but these are a variety of tomatoes, mostly slicers and cherry tomatoes. So these first 4 are Better Boy tomatoes, and they are a hybrid. It is a very popular hybrid, especially in the South, because they do well in the heat. So the first 4 were the Better Boys. These 2 right here, if you can tell, let's see if I can move so that you can see. If you see the dark stem on these, everybody's barking this morning. So if you see the dark stem on these are Black Beauties. And so funny because both of my Black Beauties, I have 2 of them. Both of my Black Beauties, they forked. And I could have just chosen one of them to thrive, but I'm just going to let these go because I can deal with a fork. I'm still going to sucker the rest of it, but we'll see how it goes. So this one is my other Black Beauty. Then this one is a Dr. Wykes. I mean, I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how I'm saying it. This one also forked, so I'm just leaving the ones that actually fork. If it's, I know that one of the things that you can do is wait to see which one has the flower stem, and then use that one as the main stem. But I just left it alone. So, because I couldn't tell at first, so I just left it alone, and now it's too big to. Well, I could still, but anyways. So these are my cherry tomatoes. This one is a black cherry. No, this one is a Chadwick cherry. And this one is a Chadwick cherry. And if you see, I've got little blossoms everywhere. And I've got little, I don't know if you can see it, little cherry tomatoes growing. So I anticipate the cherry tomatoes being the first ones to ripen. And I have little ones on this one over here too. I don't know if you can see that. Yep. So these are Chadwick cherry, like I said. And then these are the black cherry. And I don't sucker my cherry tomatoes. All right, like I said, these last tomato plants here, that one is a Brickyard, that one is a Brickyard. Those are, they are determinate tomatoes from Haas Tools. And I'm just trying them this year. I haven't ever had them before. This one is Aroma, which I've had in the past. And then I'll show you my next row, which is a mix of things. Okay, this next row is a mix of things. So the first three that you have here are Bella Rosa tomatoes, and they are determinants also. And they're also from Haas Tools. And then there's two other tomato plants over here. And these are Tachi, and they're also sold by Haas Tools. And so I've never had any of these determinants. The only one that I had in the past was Aroma. I wasn't super happy with Aromas, so I decided to try. These Tachis are similar to Aromas in shape. The others, Brickyard and Bella Rosa, those are more like all-purpose tomatoes. These three, 1, 2, 3 are tomatillos, and yes, I have them in a Florida weave. They will get super bushy, and I don't know that the Florida weave will work with them, but I'm going to try because the branches get really heavy and need to be tied up in multiple ways. So I'm going to hope that the Florida weave will work with them, but we'll see. It's just a trial and error with this. All right, next are all right, the next thing I have here are my cucumbers. All right, so the first ones I have are Silver Slicers. I planted these. They're just now starting to come up. And I wanted you to see something real quickly. So just because you container garden does not mean that you do not have issues with weeds. You do still have to weed your garden, although you don't have to weed it as much normally. All right, so these, as you see, I have 2 cucumber plants in each one of these, but I've got them trellised going up. So these are Calypso cucumbers, these 2 right here, and these 2 are Calypso cucumbers. These are from Haas Tools. I've never grown these before, so we'll see how they go. These right here are Max Pack cucumbers, and these are Max Pack cucumbers, and they're also from Haas Tools. And like I said, I've never grown them, but we're trying them out this year. I mean, so far the Calypso and the Max Pack cucumbers have tons and tons and tons of blossoms. I've got little baby cucumbers, but I don't know if any of them have been pollinated. So I'll just have to wait and see. Like you can see, there's one right there. I don't know if it's been pollinated, but we'll just wait and see. All right, then I have, these are Dar cucumbers right here. These 2 right here are Dar, and those were from Baker Creek. And so, oh, and I forgot to tell you guys, the Silver Slicers, I couldn't find them on Hudson Valley, Hudson Valley Seed Company. I got those from Fruition Seeds and Jess said that they don't get as bitter as a lot of the others with the heat, and that's one of the reasons I got them, because it gets really hot here and the cucumbers just get really bitter. Okra, This one is a jambalaya, and again I have mushrooms in my bags. This one is also a jambalaya, okra. Those are from Haas Tools. This one is a jambalaya okra, and this one is a Clemson spineless, and this one is a Clemson spineless, and this one is a jambalaya. So we've got multiple jambalayas and multiple Clemson spineless, and we'll just have to wait and see how they grow. But I did put some basil in some of the bags with the okra, as well as with the tomato plants that I have. I just kind of put them in willy-nilly. Alright, so this is, I believe this one is a straight neck squash plant, and I have blossoms, and I think that one right there, I don't think it got pollinated, so I think that one will die, but that's okay. Generally my first ones do. Then over here I had one that looks like it's not going to make it. I think that it didn't get enough water, and so I don't think it's going to make it. But I have one here and one here, so that would be 3 squash plants that survived. And this one is a crook neck, and this one is a straight neck. So these are kabocha squash. I've got 2 in here and hoping they'll vine out that way, but generally they end up going that way, so we'll see. This one is a Cherokee 10, this one is a winter luxury, and then I've got honey rock melon over here. Alright, so these are my bags of potatoes. I will link the video above so that you can see what it looked like whenever I first planted them. And they are huge and still growing. Now I do have these under a shade tree. So if you don't have room in a garden that gets a lot of sunlight, you can actually grow them under the shade tree. So we'll just see what my harvest is like this year. In the years past, it's been just fine. So we'll see. This is one of my this is my bag of comfrey that I grew from seed. Was pretty happy about that. Then I have my chives, and then I've got my sage, and right there is my mint. And right now all of these are just kind of all pushed over here to the side because I still haven't cleared out my area that I'm going to plant sweet potatoes and have my herbs in. So once I get that area cleaned up and reorganized, then it'll look better over here as well. But right now everything is just kind of jumbled together over on this side that I haven't already gotten straightened up in my main areas. I hope you guys enjoyed the garden tour. I do have a lot more stuff to plant, which will have to happen after we get back from our little trip. We're going to go to the mountains, and so once I get back, I'm hoping to plant most of my flowers out. I do have some planted, but there are some others that still need to be planted. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. We've already amended some of the bed. We have not finished it. So that's why I haven't planted all my flowers out yet. So anyway, so thank you guys for spending time with us today, and we'll see you soon.